Respectfully Disagree podcast. Get myself together here. Um, Going live today on YouTube. For some reason, StreamYard is acting goofy. So the description and all of that is live on YouTube. I turned the Facebook live on my phone. And today's episode is titled Financial Anxiety. Um Come across a clip online again, and I don't know what's been going on, man, but it's just like a lot of stuff has just been hitting home. I don't know if this is a midlife crisis, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, but just from a mental standpoint right now in 2026, bro, I just been like locked in. And you seeing all the things that's going on in the world, and I'm really trying to figure out, bro, if we are living in the damn matrix or what, because a lot of the stuff that I'm starting to see is just unbelievable. Never in a million years would I have imagined that we're growing up in a society where just shit is just weird, man. And I've just been sitting back, and before I dive into the actual conversation, like I said, it's titled Financial Anxiety and why I named it that. I want to talk about briefly the whole little Michael Jordan stuff. And it's so strange to me, bro. And it's like quite naturally being a LeBron fan, regardless of what my thoughts are on this topic, it's gonna always be labeled as, oh, you just hate Jordan. Even though Michael Jordan is all over my damn house, got a closet full of damn Michael Jordan shoes. And it's like, even prior to what happened the other day, I already knew that there's a thin line that you have to skate when it comes to talking about Michael Jordan. And I figured, that's why people call him the greatest, because it's just like it's a certain level of respect that just comes with that name alone. And I'm fully aware of that. So for those that are not familiar with the situation by now, which I don't understand how, it's like, okay, Michael Jordan is in the racing world, and I believe he's owner of several teams or whatever. He's got several people that drive for him, whatnot. I don't understand the whole NASCAR thing, so how that part works. Um, but anywho, a driver that's a representation of Jordan Brand won the Daytona 500. Let's keep it real. Nobody in the world, in our community, I'll say that, was watching the damn Daytona 500. So let's just keep it a buck. But by the end of the night and the next day, a clip surfaced of Michael Jordan allegedly, I'm going to use that word lightly because I don't want no smoke. And obviously, today shows how the power of social media and how much influence and things he has, how much weight comes with his name. But it's like this clip goes viral and you see him. In my opinion, I think he's grabbing a child. And I don't think he meant any harm by it. I'm not going to put Mike in no box as no predator or nothing like that. That's just foolish. And it's like when you first looked at it, it looks like he's pinching the little boy's butt. And quite naturally, the clip went viral. People started voicing their opinions. People started trying to cancel Mike. I saw clips of people throwing away Jordans and stuff like that. And I feel like that, in my opinion, is over the top. And then when I kept looking at it, and I was just like, bro, I'm disturbed by it because it's just inappropriate. But again, if you take into full context what was happening, they're celebrating the Daytona 500. You can look at him on his face and see that he's smiling. And in my opinion, it was playful. Again, I didn't, want to throw him to the wolves or nothing like that. It ain't none of our business. And obviously you could tell that he was, got some kind of relationship with this child. He knows the kid. So I didn't read too much into it per se. It wasn't until the next day when you get online and you seen how many people were coming to the defense. This is prior to anybody releasing any kind of statement or whatnot. Nothing had came out officially yet. This was just people just coming in defense of Michael Jordan. And I was just like, damn, like this is mind blowing to me, because we're sitting here plain as day seeing him be inappropriate with a child. But because he's Michael Jordan, he can do no wrong. And as a parent myself, it's like, bruh, I would never even jokingly, playfully mess around with somebody else's kids in that manner. And it's like we're just able to sweep that under the rug. And it's like, bruh, we all done heard the stories and the things of the playful uncles and the playful cousins and things like that. It's like, bro, that shit really exists, man. It's kids to this day that are traumatized, or full-blown adults that are traumatized by things that were done to them inappropriately by family members. But because they're family, you don't say nothing out of fear and things like that. So it's like, no, I don't think he meant any harm by it. But it's like, to even put yourself in that position is wild, in my opinion. But again, here comes everybody coming to the defense. And then there's a clip that goes viral. Some people doing a radio show or podcast or something. And the guy says it's plain as day that he's trying to get ice out from under the shirt. Bloop, 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 bloop. So when that came out, then here comes all the other people. Y'all need to apologize. See there, Mike wouldn't do that. Mike this, Mike that. And I'm just like, okay, like it really ain't that serious. And again, in my opinion, it's not that serious. But the internet just went wild with it. And it's just like, bro, like, y'all know we got eyes, we can see, bro. There was no ice. And it was like, oh, they had a Gatorade bath, they had this and that. I'm like, bro, this is the Daytona 500. Again, I've already acknowledged most people in our community do not watch the Daytona 500. But for me, I ain't never seen no Gatorade bath in NASCAR. You've seen them spraying champagne or spraying beer. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take it upon myself to research this and go look. So I go to the official NASCAR YouTube page, YouTube page, and I'm going to get full face value. And you plain as day see this man doing the little donuts and stuff out in the middle. And then when he comes into victory lane where the cameras are, the family, everybody's there, the racing team, everybody's there. He's got his son with him. They get out of the car. His son is on the roof. And you see the dad with a bottle of water and literally pours it on his son, and they're celebrating. And it's like, where's the ice? Where's the ice that everybody's talking about? Like, y'all came to this man's defense and you created this narrative and you done all this stuff. And it's like, in my opinion, simply because it was Michael Jordan. And I don't agree with that, bro. It's like, why are we doing this for certain people? And then if you fast forward, no, I ain't gonna say fast forward, rewind. Just a few weeks ago, we all saw the clip that went viral in Minnesota with ICE plain as day shooting somebody. But then the White House comes out and is like, oh, this is what happened. There was a struggle and he was the aggressor. I'm like, bro, we can see this. So then you fast forward and it's like, boom, here comes Stephen A. Smith. And it's like, when did we start taking Stephen A. Smith as a valuable, credible source when we already know his opinion on things is biased? So you already knew he's going to come to his defense. So then it's like, boom, they go and grab the driver immediately. The dad, they interviewed the mom. I haven't seen her version or heard anything of that nature from the mom, but it's like the dad is sitting there. He's like, we've known Mike for years, blah, blah, blah. We don't see nothing wrong with him. I'm like, the fuck was he supposed to say? Like, that's his boss, technically. You just won the Daytona 500, bro. Your name and your stock and your everything is on the rise. Why within a 48-hour, 72-hour window would you tarnish everything that you just accomplished by going against Mike? And I was just like, bro, the PR and the damage control, it's like, dang, like, to me, that's power. And I'm mentioning and saying all this because it's like we accuse Trump supporters of sweeping everything that he does under the rug. And at times, myself included, you feel dumbfounded because it's like, how can you still support this man when you see all this evidence against him? And it's like, how can you still support somebody that is accused of this, this, and this? And then when you look at the evidence, it lines up against him, but yet you still support him. And it's like, I could never understand that. But now in this situation, it's like, we're guilty of it too, bro. And it's like, dog, like, it was inappropriate. I don't agree with it. If the family says they don't no harm, no foul, then cool. Forget about it. But it's like the limits that people will go to try to justify it. And it's like, oh, he was just playing. That's Mike. I even saw Jason Williams, a former NBA player. And after this, I'll go on about what I want to talk about. But a former NBA player was like, hey, bro, that's Mike. If you turn around and saw that was Mike doing that, you wouldn't care because that's Mike. And I'm just like, what? So it's like, bro, like, it's so much evidence in front of our faces as to why the world is the way that it is, bro. It's like, bro, we keep picking and choosing what's right and wrong. And I have this conversation with my wife all the time, and it goes back to the topic that I want to talk about, which is financial anxiety. It's like, my wife said to me, everything is not black and white in terms of how you view the world. And I said, why can't it be? Why shouldn't it be? It's either good or it's bad. There's no in between. You made a good choice or you made a bad choice. There's no in between. And I feel like the world should maneuver black and white. It's either this or it's that. And it's just like, bro, like, oh, the Gatorade was stuck and the ice was this. And it's like, where are y'all getting this from? Like, as of right now, at this moment, I've yet to see a video of anybody with any ice. If you go back and look at the video, the team, they have beer cans. They literally have empty beer cans as they're accepting the trophy. When Mike stole the moment to go get the trophy, you see the empty beer cans and you saw where they was shaking them up and spraying them all over the people. And I'm like, nothing with ice was used. So it's like, where do y'all get this from? Like, you plain as day see Mike pinch. He's pinching. And oh, he's grabbing his shirt. He's trying to shake the ice out. And I'm like, if anybody got ice down their shirt, bro, your first reaction is you're gonna shake and try to get it out and this and that. Like, bro, we all don't put ice down somebody's shirt before and you see the immediate reaction. This little boy wasn't even paying attention to Mike. He's standing there watching. And then all of a sudden you see somebody pinching and you feel somebody grabbing you and he turned around. You saw his reaction and it's like, come on, bro, man. It's an innocent child we talking about. Again, I'm not putting Mike in no box as somebody that should be labeled as no predator or nothing like that. It was inappropriate. I feel like Mike was just caught up in the moment of excitement and you being playful with a child. But to me, it's so weird to see so many people come to his defense. And it's all surrounding who he was as a basketball player and what position he holds in this world as in terms of him being a billionaire and things like that. And it's like, bro, people pick and choose. And you just see it on full display here recently. whether it's Donald Trump, whether it's Jordan, whether it's whoever. And it's just like, bro, give it a break. Give it a break. But anywho, man, I'm gonna play this clip real quick that I heard online this morning, and it made me want to fire up the mic again. I know my last 4 or 5 episodes have been geared towards mental health. Shout out to my homie Chris. He was on the last episode, and we're supposed to be getting the mentor thing going this week. I got to follow up with him, see if we still got that in play for this Sunday. But I'm gonna play this clip, man, and I want y'all to check this out.
We don't talk about enough or take seriously in Black families. And that's the damage done to a young person who has to become the responsible one too early. Because when responsibility hits you young, it doesn't build character, it interrupts development. You don't get to be careless. You don't get to learn through mistakes. You don't get a soft place to land. Instead, you become the backup plan. You're the kid who understands bills before you understand yourself, the teenager who thinks stability is more important than joy, the young adult who feels guilty for wanting more than survival. And nobody calls it what it is. They call you mature, they call you wise for your age, but what they really mean is you learn how to suppress your needs early. And that shows up later. It shows up as anxiety around money, even when you're doing okay. It shows up as over planning, overthinking, and feeling unsafe unless everything is controlled. It shows up as burnout in your 20s and 30s when everyone else is finally figuring it out. Because while others were allowed to fail, you learn you were busy holding things together. And here's the part that's really messed up. And that really messes people up. When you're the responsible one, you start to think that your worth is in what you can provide, and you don't feel valuable unless you're useful. You don't feel loved unless you're dependable. So you overgive, you overfunction, you take pride in being needed even when it's slowly draining you. And the moment you try to step back, now you're changing. Now you're acting funny. Now people say you forgot where you came from. But the truth is, you never had the luxury of being where you came from. You were too busy holding it down, holding it all together. And that role follows you into your adulthood. You struggle to ask for help. You struggle to rest without guilt. You struggle to take risks because too many people depend on you staying stable. This isn't about blaming parents or family, though. It's about acknowledging that adult responsibilities placed on young shoulders leaves a mark. Because the goal isn't to raise kids who carry the family. The goal is to raise kids who get to be kids and then grow. So let me ask you something. Did responsibility help you grow, or did it just teach you how to survive quietly? And who would you be today if you were able to be young and free before you had to be useful? Talk about something.
That is a lot to unpack. It is a lot. And like I said, I don't know what's going on with the algorithms of social media these days, but it's like, again, so many things just hit home for me. So that's why I titled it Financial Anxiety, because this person was talking about learning at an early age about the importance of money and having to take on responsibilities and things at an early age and not really being able to be a young teen and just see the world and experience the world, and you're able to fail and make mistakes and pick yourself back up and keep going. This is more so for those that were thrown into the real world at an early age and you instantly became in survival mode. You instantly were thrown into survival mode, and all you knew was, I got to constantly keep going. I got to constantly keep making a way. If I don't make a way, then my life is in shambles. I don't know where I'm going to go. I don't know if it's up or down, left or right. And how did that shape you as you entered into adulthood? And it's like, you become an adult, you're afraid to ask for help, you're afraid to tell people that you're failing, or you got people that now depend on you. So now you're stuck in this grind mode of, no matter what I'm going through, I can't stop because so many people depend on me. I want to be there to help others. And the minute that I'm not there to help others, then you lose sight and you lose purpose. And I'm just sitting there and I'm just soaking it all in. And then you sit back and you reflect and you think about your own life and you just transpire. You see how things transpired. And then you just got all these questions and the light bulb goes off. And it's like, bro, I've been talking about just being in a mental funk for weeks, for months, and just trying to understand life and things like that. And I also want to highlight, like he said, this is not to bash parents or make parents feel like they didn't do their job, because that is not what I'm trying to do. I'm saying that based on my circumstances growing up, I had to learn the value and the importance of money for a multitude of reasons, most of which was selfish, material shit. But it's like I learned that if I wanted something in life, I had to do what I needed to do to get it. So this was 16, 17 years old. And it's like, bro, I had an infatuation with shoes. So it's like I'm cutting grass, I'm washing cars, I'm doing all this stuff. But as I'm collecting the money, I'm mapping it out. From time to time, my mother was like, hey, let me hold this and I'll give it back to you when I get paid here, or do this and do that. And I was able to do it. Now, granted, when it was time for my damn shoes to come out, I ensured that she gave me my money. And again, that was me being selfish. You wasn't even fully aware of circumstances and if she really had it or not. But you hounded her to get your money back because you wanted the shoes, you wanted the stuff. But I'm saying that a typical 15, 16, 17-year old, they mind ain't really on that, where you're mapping out money, you're strategically planning money. So I feel like that's when I was first introduced into this concept of I got to go out here and figure this shit out, because if I want it, I can't go to my parents and be like, hey, I know y'all just helped me get the last pair of Jordans, but there's some more Jordans coming out this month. I want them. It's like, bro, we didn't have the resources to do that. So then I graduate, move all the way to Lexington, Kentucky. Yes, I was on scholarship, but you got to think, at the time, I don't have a vehicle. I don't have a lifeline of, hey, I ran out of money. Can you send me some money? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in college and I'm still in this survival mode. It's like, okay, yeah, I got my residual checks and things like that. But again, you got to plan it out. So if I get this check in September, it's like, okay, I got to make this money stretch till Christmas, because I know coming back second semester, I'll re up again. So you're constantly in a hustler's mentality, so to speak. So, of course, as a teenager, you're not thinking about financial anxiety. You're not thinking about that stuff. You just trying to live life, go party. You want the freshest clothes, the freshest shoes. You're just enjoying life. And that's why in that clip, when nobody's like, you don't get the opportunity to fail. At the time, you don't realize that. The closest that I got to failing was me getting ready to lose my scholarship. And I knew that my parents didn't have the funds to keep me in school. So, boom. Now we back in grind mode, survival mode all over again. And not only that, it's like, bro, throw the money aspect out of it. I got to make sure I'm taking my ass to class to pass so that I can stay in school and then earn the money. So it's like, okay, you do all that. Again, I'm penny pinching. You knew that by the time the semester get ready in, your little money done ran out. And boom, summer comes, you get a summertime job. And I was going back home, working factory work. Like literally, like shout out to my cousin Chuck, shout out to my cousin Mace. Bro, we was in grind mode all summer. And that's me still trying to stack money, because I know when I get back to school, that first few weeks, bro, it's like until you get them residuals, dog, that's at least a month. You in school at least a month, if not about 5 weeks before them checks hit. So it's like I'm stacking money. But again, I'm 18, 19 years old, you're still trying to go out and club and party and hang out with people, but it's like you don't have the freedom to just go out there and fuck the money up because you know that I have to be responsible. I got to make sure I got books and this and that. This was well before I found out about book vouchers and shit like that, where again, you still selling yourself short because if you take a book voucher, they just gonna take it out of your residual check anyway. So it's almost like a loan, so to speak. But at the time, I was not aware of that. I'm thinking that I gotta have money to front my books outright soon as we get back to school. So again, you don't get to do the things that a typical teenager would do when you a sophomore in college and shit like that. Again, still ain't got no car. A lot of that is on me, splurging, doing whatever. But I was like, at the time, it's like, bro, I can't afford no car payment, car insurance, damn scholarship halfway reduced to nothing. And it's like, I was like, I ain't even gonna put that pressure on me. That's a whole nother conversation. So it's like, boom, graduate college, you enter the work field. And now it's like, boom, bro, like you in the real world now. And at the time, I'm in an income-based apartment. So only thing I had to pay for was my electric. But cool, as soon as I get a job, now I gotta start turning my pay stubs in. So it's like, okay, I'm full time. So now I'm paying full time rent. So now it's like, damn, bro, like I'm out here working, can't afford too much. Got to put groceries in the house. Now by then I do have a car, insurance, gas. You know what I'm saying? Like you never really got the opportunity to just slowly transition into that. And I feel like that is a benefit that some kids do have because their parents kind of gift them some of these things to cut that process short. Like you're not on that long path of grinding and then you just check off, hey, I got my first car, got my first apartment, got my first this, that, and that. And you're solely responsible for every checklist or every check mark as you go. Some people have the luxury of being able to give their kids a boost. So there's nothing wrong with that. But going back to the clip, I feel like that's what he was talking about. For those kids that have the parents that are able to give them some of those things early, you allow them to still be a kid because they don't have to worry about paying the car note. They don't have to worry about paying the insurance. They don't have to worry about paying rent. So a lot of the money that they do earn, they're able to just go out there and freely fuck it up. Excuse my language, because they know that worst case scenario, mom and pops is gonna help me get out of these binds. But it's like everybody doesn't have that luxury. And unfortunately for me, I didn't. So I had developed that I can only depend on me. And as the years go by, boom, I got a family, I got kids. And it's like that switch has never been turned off. So again, going back to the clip, he's like, now you're in your 30s, 40s, and it's like, bro, like you are so needed, you are so dependent upon to where you can't just sit back and take a break for yourself. You don't have the opportunity now because people depend on you. Like you are a provider. So no matter how hard shit gets, no matter how difficult life may be, now you have to face all this shit full throttle with no turning back. And I was just sitting there and I was thinking about that. And he was like, if you had the opportunity to start over and you were able to just grow and be a kid and learn to make mistakes and learn to do different things, do you think that it would help or hurt you? And I felt like that was a deep question to ask because you never really get the opportunity to think back and just really harp on things that you saw growing up, things that you experienced growing up. It was just always just enough. You made enough to get by. And I remember us going on spring break and we found out how much everybody had to turn in. And it's like, okay, I had enough to pay my part, but now it's like, okay, now I got to figure out how I'm gonna get spending money. So it's like you didn't never have the luxury of being like, hey, we going to Panama. Here go my part. I'm taking 5,000 with me. Let's just go live it up. Like, nah, bro, I might have might have went down there with like 500. And I told y'all, bro, this is like residual money mixed in, knowing that when I get back from spring break, bro, I still got another month or so to survive. So you just kind of stuck living in the moment and you just go along with it, but you never had the luxury of just going out and splurging and fucking up and then knowing that there was somebody there to pick you up and dust you off and tell you keep going. And it's like, damn, bro, like is that what's wrong with some of us right now? It's like, bro, like I'm 41, but sometimes it's like, bro, like life is hard. It is hard. And no matter what, you just gotta keep going. Like I am not in a position to where I can just fuck up and fall off and then not set my family back. So I named this financial anxiety, and it's like, damn, bro, when you really, really think about it, is this a result of childhood trauma? It's like, do we inflict this and pass this down from generation to generation because we're so eager to tell our kids that as soon as you turn 17, 18, you got to go get a job. You going to go help pitch in on the bills. Like you learned at an early age that you got to start pulling your weight. It wasn't a celebration moment where it's like, hey, my teenager got their first job, so I'm going to allow them to uh, just kind of enjoy life. You go out there and blow your checks, that's on you. But hey, I'm gonna teach you to kind of be responsible with it, but at the same time, hey, you worked for it, you earned it. But instead, as soon as your child get paid, you standing at the front door where your half at on the lights, where your part at on whatever. So then you condition your kids into I'm working, but I don't never get to enjoy my money because I got to turn around and hand it over to somebody else. And it's like, damn, bro, like that video made me really sit back and think about it. And it's like, bro, life, man, life. Like it's crazy right now, man. And then when you look in the news and you just see the cost of living. And I think that's a lot of stuff that people don't take in consideration as well. It's like, bro, everything is quadruple the amount that our parents had to pay. And it's like, dog, it's hard, bro. There's no way that the average car note is $700 to $1,000 for a brand new car. The average home, 300,000. Like that's crazy right now, man. Like I remember when we was sitting there looking for our first home, nobody had ever talked to me about that process. I don't know nothing about that. So when I go to sit down to see what we're approved for, in my head, I'm like anything between 150, 200,000, we good. Like, let's go. Told the lady what our goal was. And when they started showing us houses within that price range, I'm like, wait a minute, lady. It's a family of 5. Like, what? What do you mean it's only got one bathroom? Like, it's 5 of us. What do you mean it's only 3 bedrooms? Like, that ain't enough. Well, you were approved for this. So if you want to go up into this price range, This is what your monthly mortgage is gonna look like. And then you just like, fuck, like that's a lot. And that was 6 years ago, 5 years ago. So the price has gone up. And it's like, bro, I can't even imagine what it feels like, especially for somebody that's single. Like I'm telling y'all now, bro, I would not survive without my wife. And I have this conversation with her, bro. It's like, nah, like we a team. Like I ain't going nowhere. We a team. That's a curse for sure. As parents, shout out to Clyde on the live. If that was your institution, you got to end that. Helping the kids by valuing patience and allowing them to stay at home is the biggest curse. I swear, man, it's like, bro, like I know people who went through that. Hold on. Biggest curse I believe we have to end. We have to pour into them because society and technology has crippled them in a lot of ways. I can go on. Like, dog, you preaching, bro. And I'm dealing with that right now at my place of employment. A lot of things are switching over to automations and they're utilizing AI more and things like that. And it's like, bro, the further that we're advancing in society and technology, they're creating ways to replace people. So people complain about the social skills and lack thereof, and these kids addicted to screens and things like that. It's like, bro, we done everything to keep us from socializing. If I want groceries, I can sit here on this phone right now and order groceries and have them delivered to me. If I got a taste for freaking Chick-fil-A right now, I can have it delivered to my doorstep. So as society advances, we're taking away social skills. We're taking away the ability to get out here and just learn how the world works. And it's just, I don't know, man. Everything is just backwards right now, man. And it's just like, dog, this shit is hard. This shit is extremely hard, bro. And it's just like the thing said, the clip said, it's like the minute that you step back and have a selfish moment and say that, man, I just need to take a moment for me. Like, I'm not helping nobody right now because I'm still trying to help myself. And the moment you tell somebody no, it's like, oh, he done switched up. Oh, he done forgot where he came from. Oh, he think he better than people. And it's like, no, man, I'm dealing with life too. And he said, he's like, bro, you get into situations where you've been so dependent on yourself to where you afraid to ask for help and things like that. And it's like, bro, for me, I've always struggled with asking. I was like, nah, I can be down bad. And I'm just like, nah, I'll figure it out. I don't know how I'm gonna figure it out, but I'm gonna figure it out. And it's like in reality, bro, you just keep adding more stress and more stress. And it's like, but we were always taught, bro. It's like, I'm responsible for this. Who else gonna help me get it out, get out of these situations? And I feel like that's what dude was talking about when he says that as a kid in our community, we're not able to just grow up and be kids. We're not able to just go out and make mistakes in life, learn from them, and adjust. It's like we've been conditioned to, you got to go out there right now. You got to go. You can't F up. You can't F up. We depend on you. We depend on you. And not to tie this in, that's why I was so passionate about this Glorilla and her sister thing, because I'm just like, bro, like, why would y'all try to put the pressure of a family of 12, 10 kids and 2 parents on one person? Oh, she done blew up. She done made it. I'm like, bro, it ain't enough money going around right now for her to provide for 12 other people, including herself. Like, the idea of that to me was just selfish. And it goes back to what I said earlier when it's like, when people say, man, the world is not black and white, I'm like, why can't it be, bro? Like, I got up, I done something with my 24 hours that I'm allotted when I open my eyes up each morning, and I made a way. Now, once I get established, if I want to turn around and help, then I'll be more than glad to help those that I can. But the fact that you see me get up and do something, so then you start putting your clothes on thinking that you finna walk out the door with me just off the rip of we siblings. No, bro, that ain't how that work. So again, financial anxiety, bro. It's like, nah, you afraid to just live life because at any moment, anything can happen. And now you set back. That's why I'm telling y'all, bro. It's like, nah, this, like, I'm just sitting here, stuck in here, working my ass off and consuming social media. And maybe that's my downfall because it's so much going on. Men's health has been neglected for years, bro, in our community. The males would get together and drink, gamble. Issues as men, we were taught nobody cared about your problems. Now we have to surround ourselves around fellas who are mature enough to understand and it's okay to express hurt, pain, stress. Amen, brother. And like I said, shout out to my guy C. I saw him join in a few minutes ago. I don't know if he's still watching, but we're actually, he's putting together a mentorship group for us men to come together and sit down and talk about those very things. Because like I said, man, I sit down and have deep conversations with some of my peers, and we do express how, man, life is life, but it's so much pressure. It's so much pressure to be able to just get up, provide, do all these things, make sure your kids have a decent life, and at the same time, you have to keep yourself together. And it's just like, bro, like it's a hard pill to swallow. And it's like I don't see things getting any easier anytime soon when you have the people in positions that we have. And what I mean by that, I'm not trying to get political or nothing like that, but it's like, bro, these people in the White House right now, bro, like they're not in the process of trying to make things easier. And I'll just leave it at that. So it's like, bro, you sitting there trying to figure out life as the world around you seems to be on fire. And it's like, what can I do to keep this water hose going so that I can spray and keep my family safe? That's how it comes off, bro. Like I just got to make sure I got my water hose around me, keeping the ones close to me damp so that we don't get engulfed in flames. But it's like after a while, bro, it's like you feel everything around you crumbling. How do you not fold to that pressure? And that's why I just wanted to get on the mic, just talk and ramble for a moment because I was just like, I was dumbfounded by that clip. And you really, really put things in perspective of how you went from a teenager to adulthood. And I will openly admit that it's like, bro, like I felt like I couldn't fail. Like there's no way because failure for me would be having to pack all my things up and move back home into a town where I know that there's not any job opportunities. There's nothing remotely close to the lifestyle that I've been living. So you even hitting the reset button in that aspect. So not only are you going to take a financial hit, but you're going to take a social hit just in terms of being around people and going out. Hey, let's go watch the game. Let's go have a drink. Let's go to the bar. Like my hometown, bro, it's all mom and pop. And even now, I think it may be like two little restaurants there, maybe three. And it's like, even with that, it's like, bro, there's no place for us just to go sit down and have a drink. Shout out to Spirit. Somehow we got to come together, build together. Hard for us to build something together. Like real talk, like real talk, bro. And it's like, it sounds cliche. It sounds like the quote unquote, hey, bro, we all we got. And it's like, I don't want it to come off as that, but it's like, man, like it ain't getting easier, bro. It's gonna get harder before it gets easier. The crazy part is you can't give an 18-year-old a real chance to see if they can make it way just inflation. It like, bruh, I'm 41, dog, and I'm sitting there like, man, as much as I get online and laugh and joke about sports betting and gambling and shit like that, it's like, bruh, man, we at a point now where it's like, man, you can walk into your job tomorrow and they tell you, bro, we don't need you no more. And then that shit ain't funny no more, bro. It like, it's crazy. We make triple the amount that our parents made growing up. And maybe they done a good job of disguising the anxiety. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a kid growing up, we didn't have the best surroundings, but it was like, when I went to go visit aunts and uncles, and my grandparents were married, they had their own house and things like that. My mother didn't get her first house until I was in college. So I've said this before, I grew up in a 2-bedroom duplex, Section 8 housing, things like that. But in terms of going to visit relatives and things like that, I saw structure. I saw, a 2-parent household and cars and things like that. So you just assume that everybody had their shit together. So it's like, man, I can't wait to graduate. I'm getting this degree. I'm getting a job. I'm doing this and doing that. And then when somebody's like, hey, I make X amount a year, and then you think back to what your parents made at that time, and it's like, shit, I'm making triple, but I'm still living under them same struggling ass conditions. And it's like, man, what is going on? Nah, times wasn't this hard. Facts. Facts, bro. Facts. And then you check online and you see all these dating shows and stuff, and these chicks talking about, man, I was looking at Teague now. What is that? 5520 podcast or whatever it is called. And they had a female on there talking about she ain't going to Texas Roadhouse for a first date. That's cheap. And they was like, you trying to tell me that $50 a plate? No, they was talking about Benihana's too. And they was like, $50 a plate is cheap. And she just scoffed at the idea of going to Benihana's. And I'm like, if this is a first date, bro, where y'all trying to go? I was like, man, nah. I was like, man, my wife stuck with me, bro. I was like, nope. It ain't no starting over. Because if I got to go to Ruth Chris for a first date, then shit, we going to be hungry. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Or it's like if you don't drive a certain type of car, or if you don't have this certain type of lifestyle, and it's like, what the fuck am I doing wrong if everybody's able to live this way? I feel like my family is comfortable for the time being, but it's like, we ain't well off either. Hell, like, I'm still trying to grind and get to where I need to get to in life. And it's like, the expectations right now is just so unrealistic. And that's why I said in the beginning, I was like, man, do we live in a damn matrix or what? Like, what is, like, this can't be real life. It can't be. And it's like, bro, we sit here and we just consumed by social media, unrealistic expectations on the world. And meanwhile, the people that's supposed to be for us in Congress and things like that, they own bullshit. I'm looking at clips talking about Stephen A. Smith running for president, Uncle Luke, Congress. And I'm just like, come on, man. Like, what? Like, that's my cue to get ready to get off here. I see my family calling me now. My daughter's at tumbling. Pretty sure they calling to see what's for dinner tonight. And even that, you know what I'm saying? Like, financial anxiety, dog. Like, every night, what y'all want to eat? What y'all want to eat? And it's like, bro, the kids is involved in different things. I just got off work. So it's like, we don't have that dynamic anymore where you saw your parents go to work, and then at the end of the night, everybody sat down at a dinner table and ate. It's like now everything is just go, 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 go. Practice, cheerleading, work, this and that. Grab something quick to eat. You eating in the car. Like, all dynamics of life right now just crazy. Folks like, shit, they can't even spell and pronounce these days, fam. Chicks yelling. Don't even, like, I swear, bro. I swear. It's like, I don't get it. And it's like, it's all influenced by social media. And it's like, I want this type of bag, I want that type of bag. And man, we talking about thousands of dollars. And it's like people just expect your average person to have thousands of dollars just laid to the side so that they can just go buy a fucking bag on a random Tuesday. And it's like, come on, bro. Like that's crazy. But it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I was like, maybe it's just me, but I wanted to take this episode to just kind of vent, and I really didn't even go deep how I thought in my mind. Like I said, I do these episodes, I don't have no real notes. I'm just kind of freestyling and talking. But this morning, as I listened to that clip, I was just like, nah, like this is deep. Like it's so many things that I can take away from this and then reflect on life. And even in the aspects of family thinking that you done switched up on them and this and that. It's like, bro, I done lost communication with so many people, but it's like I can't dwell on it. Like life has to keep going. It has to keep going, bro. And it's like I'm stuck trying to make sure my family's good. I can't keep worrying about what family members mad at me, who don't call, who don't come to visit, who don't do this and do that. It's like, bro, I used to be so wrapped up into that to where it's like it used to bother me. Man, why don't such and such call me no more? Why don't this person like the only time I see these people is when I go to visit? And it's like, you know what? Can't worry about it. Can't worry about it. Like we all going through something and you just kind of give people the benefit of the doubt. But then it's like when you start hearing the things where it's like, oh man, he don't even I don't want to cuss. He don't really F with us no more. He don't do this no more. He don't do that. And it's like, bro, I haven't changed. At least I feel like I haven't. I'm the same person. I understand that life takes people on different paths. We're all adults now. We all got families that we trying to provide for. But I've always told myself that if somebody needed my help, I'm a help. And it's like, you know what? I'm done helping. Like I'm trying to help myself now. And that's the most important part. So shout out to those that chimed in on the Facebook Live. Man, I appreciate this TED talk. You know what, Clyde, while I got you on here, if you still watching, I promise you, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to start nothing. I'm not trying to troll. Like, I opened this conversation talking about the Michael Jordan situation. And I expressed, in my opinion, that I felt like it was highly inappropriate, regardless of the circumstances. It just wasn't a good look. I feel like Mike didn't have no wrong intentions. They were in a celebratory moment. He was excited. And to me, you could tell that he was playfully messing with this kid. I wasn't going to go to the depths of calling him or labeling him as something that is not deserving. But I think the part that peeped me off the most was how many people came to his defense to the point to where they created so many narratives and created all this stuff. And then you saw people justifying it. And it's like, bro, you consider and look it up yourself and see that the dad poured water. Like it was water. There was no ice. There was no nothing involved. And it's like, you see Stephen A. Smith and them on TV, like his stature is so high to where it's like, you're not even going to let your mind tell you that what I'm looking at is something that's inappropriate. And I was just like, dog. Like there's no need to have a GOAT debate. There's no need to have nothing, because even when we see what we see, we're going to pretend like we didn't see it because we support whoever this person is. And that's why I'm just like, we can't judge Trump supporters and things like that. Like that conversation is null and void at this point, in my opinion. If you rock with Trump, that's your business. I have the choice to make as to whether or not I'm gonna rock with you, and you leave it at that. But it's like, for people to be like, "Oh man, it's a cult. That's a this. That's a that." And it's like, nah, bro. We all got our favorites. We all got our favorites. I just feel like, in my opinion, that was highly inappropriate, especially for somebody else's child. Like, I wouldn't want nobody touching my kid in that manner, whether it's laughing, playing, or nothing like that, bro. That's nah, bro. That was creepy, in my opinion. But I'm curious to know. We can have that conversation on the side if you would like, because I understand that it's just like, it's wild. Yeah, no denying what we saw with, like, you. I don't feel like Mike is no pedo. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I would never go to those extremes the way we've seen people online in the last 3 or 4 days take it. I was like, I'm not going there. I was like, man, I got a house full of J's and shit. I was like, I'm not throwing my shit away. Um, I'll use this for those that have played sports and have been around sports. I remember when the Anthony Davis clip went viral. They was in the locker room and had him on the floor and doing all kind of crazy stuff. And it's like, I get what was taking place. I've been in the locker room and my teammates knew, don't fuck with me like that. Like, excuse my language. It's like, bro, they used to go around and shuck people, pull their pants down and do all that goofy stuff on the bus. Like, bro, I couldn't stand it. Like, they knew, don't touch me. Like, don't even come nowhere near me playing like that, bro. Like, that's not cool. So it's like, I don't think he had any ill intentions. He wasn't doing nothing on no sneaky craziness. I just felt like he was joyfully teasing and picking at the child. But I just hate how people just, nah, man, that's Mike, bro. Nah, that's Mike. And I'm like, when I heard Jason Williams say, come on, bro, if you turn around and saw Mike was doing that, you're not going to say nothing because it's Mike. And I was just like, you know what? Y'all got it. I'm done talking about that because, like, that's wild. That's wild to even insinuate that because he's Mike, that he's supposed to be able to touch you however he want to touch you. And it's just like, nah, bro, this world crazy. But anywho, man, appreciate y'all rocking with me, man. The I Respectfully Disagree podcast. It's on YouTube. It's on streaming. I'm gradually getting subscribers. I get a little notification here and there where 1 or 2 people may hit the subscribe button. So, man, whatever I got to do, I'm finna lock in and do it, bro. We in February, and I think so far I've already dropped maybe like 6 episodes. And I know a lot of it has been geared towards deeper conversations, mental health, and things like that, which I said was my goal for 2026. I'm gonna gradually get back into the sports thing. I wanted to talk about the all-star stuff, but then it's kind of like, man, we're right now, bro. Sports is just in a funky place too. And maybe that will be my next episode, just talking about just sports and betting and load management. I see the whole Sacramento Kings today announced that they all having season-ending surgery. And it's like, bro, you looking at the Utah Jazz and what they doing, and it's just like, dog, like, again, like I said, man, maybe this is just a matrix and everything is just upside down. Like, nothing feels normal. And we'll get back to that. Like I said, shout out to my guy C. Hopefully we stick with the mentor thing this week. And y'all be sure to subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, and we are out.
Ass toasted, no competition. Amnesia coasting. I feel so high, I feel so live. My body's in the twine. Amnesia coasting. I feel so live, and I know why. That I can't deny. Amnesia coasting. Giddy, fine wine, fools, malt liquor. Wish me I'm high class.